All right, let us move along. In a matter of moments, seconds, we're going to be joined by Miesha Tate. A lot going on in her life. She's got a bit of news to announce. In fact, her boyfriend, the father to her lovely daughter, Amaia, was just in action over the weekend for Bellator, made his long-awaited return. Johnny Nunez, he was victorious. What a great moment that was for him and the family. She's now kind enough to be joining us on the phone. Miesha, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Ariel. How are you? It's been a while.
It has been a while. Wow, there's so much to congratulate you on. First and foremost, congratulations on motherhood. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
How is it going so far?
It's incredible. It's the coolest thing I've ever done. And I love my daughter to death. Like, she's my everything. So people always say, you don't know until you know, but it's true. Until you experience it, it's just something so mind-blowing. And I couldn't be at a better place in my life, to be honest.
That is great to hear. Now, is this something you always wanted to experience? Did you always want to be a mom?
No.
Really?
Actually, I was totally not sold on the idea for a long time until I met Johnny. And it didn't take me that long to figure out that I wanted to have his baby. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just when you meet the right person, you just know, and that's exactly what happened to me.
What has surprised you? Like, for me, the moment that my wife became a mom, like, I noticed a change in her for the better. Like, it was just amazing how she just became a mom. What has surprised you most about Miesha Tate, the mom?
That surprised me the most, I think. Perhaps it wasn't even myself. Like, I love her so much. So I guess to realize that you can love something that much is kind of crazy. But I think my parents, like, becoming grandparents, was the most surprising thing to me as how much she matters to them. Like, I never thought about it before. I never thought about what a beautiful gift it is for my parents. It's just so, I mean, I guess it's natural, but it's just amazing to me to watch them just devour her. They just love her to death, and it just brought our family so much closer. So I think that's probably the most surprising thing.
And now I do believe since for the first time since you became a mom, and I think it might be for the first time since you were with Johnny, he competed, right? And he won over the weekend in Boise on Friday for Bellator. What was it like for you now, your family, seeing your partner, the father of your child, in action? How is that different, from the past, seeing him actually go out there and compete in a fight and you're on the sidelines?
Well, it was a different perspective. It was totally a different perspective. I got to sit in the crowd and I held my daughter while we watched him compete, and she got to watch her dad win. It was her first fight going to live, and it was just it was a wonderful experience. I was being on the totally opposite end of the perspective than I ever have been. So for me, it was very eye-opening. It was very enjoyable. I loved it. I thought I wasn't going to be nervous at all. But it's like as soon as I walked in there and I had her in my arms and I saw the cage, like, my stomach dropped, and it was so weird. It was just a totally different experience. I got to experience more like what it is to just be a fan in the audience and watch your loved one compete.
Was that her first fight that she attended?
It was.
What was it like going to? You've been a part of this game for a long time now. You go as a mom with your daughter. What was that like?
Oh, it was intense. It was really enjoyable, though. I think she brought a sense of calmness to it all. Like, I actually made my way over to the walkout, the section where I knew Johnny was going to be coming out, and he was able to come over and give her a kiss before he went into the octagon, and I think it just gave him a different sense of motivation. Like, he told me, Trevor Whitman, who is Rose Namajunas' coach and Justin Gaethje's coach during the training camp, that he had come over and kind of gave him a pep talk. I think also, our coach, Eric Nixick, had come over and told him, like, you got to think, like, this guy's trying to hurt your baby or kill your baby, and it just was, I think, a different mindset for him. He
Wow.
went out there and dominated 3 rounds, and it's so crazy when you have something bigger than you. My daughter is bigger than me. She's more important than I am. She's more important than anything. So it's such a cool experience. Being a parent is the most rewarding thing that I've ever done.
Being there, does it give you the itch ever to come back?
You know what? I don't feel like I miss anything. I'm in such a good place. I'm so happy. I'm so fulfilled. And I had such a long career. It's not like I know people think that I'm retiring young, but I started young. I started wrestling when I was 15, and I started fighting at 19. So I fought for like 12 years, and I did it all. I started at the very bottom, Ariel. I started for no money, fighting as an amateur, and then fighting for pennies on the dollar as a professional, not being taken serious, no opportunity. The UFC was like, we're not going to have women fight ever, all the way to fighting as the main event in the UFC, defending my UFC World Championship. I don't feel like I missed anything. So right now I'm in a great place. Who knows if that will change, but if it does, it does. I have time, and I'm not even focused on it at the moment. I'm so content where I'm at that I don't have to think about it. I'm fortunate that I put enough cash flow away. I invested. My home is paid for. My cars are paid for. Like, I don't need to fight for money. I'm in a great place financially, and yeah, I'm happy. So not missing much.
You can hear it in your voice as well. You sound supremely happy, and I'm happy for you. That is great to hear. You are no stranger to big weekends in Las Vegas, big UFC weekends. There's a big one coming up in a couple of weekends, October 6th. But the night before, you're going to be involved with Quintet, their third event. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago with Uriah Faber. How will you be involved?
So I am going to commentate the show. So I'm really excited because this brings a totally different perspective on grappling. It's 5-on-5, and it's a team. So what I'm really excited about is we get to see Uriah Faber grapple Sakuraba, which I think is going to be so cool. I'm really excited to commentate that. It's 8 minutes. They grapple each other for up to 8 minutes, and if neither one of them gets a submission, then they're both eliminated from the contest, and the next set comes out. But if someone does get a submission, for instance, if Uriah Faber beats Sakuraba, submits him, then the next in line on Sakuraba's team comes out, who would be Josh Barnett. So we may see Uriah Faber grappling Josh Barnett, which I also think would be intensely interesting. So I'm excited to be a part of it and just guide people through the submissions and talk about it, because I love talking about grappling, and I love being able to educate people as the action unfolds. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's Quintet 3, October 5th, Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. Tickets available right now. It's live on Fight Pass. There's the team matchups, as you mentioned, but also two super fights, Frank Mir versus Satoshi Ishii, and the 16-year-old prodigy Nicky Ryan against Hideo Tokoro. So something for everyone that night. And I know you've competed in grappling, as well. These seem to there's like a lot of momentum behind these now. It seems like for whatever reason, the stars are aligning in the grappling world to where, fighters can actually make some legit money doing this and not have to get punched in the face, right?
Hell yeah.
Finally.
Which I love, because I totally want to compete in grappling still. I want to continue to do that, and I think that's where I'll feel my competitive edge. It's once a fighter, always a fighter. And to me, grappling is a form of fighting. I mean, grapplers call fighting. I don't call grappling fighting, because to me there is a distinct difference. Like, fighting is getting punched in the face. Grappling is grappling. But you still get the chance to try to, choke someone out or tear someone's arm off or whatever. So I enjoy that competitive aspect, and I definitely want to look to compete myself. So who knows, maybe on Quintet 4 or 5, maybe I'll have an all-female team, and put together a team, and
that would be incredible.
Like another top female team or something like that. So
I love that. That's an amazing idea. I didn't think of that. Yeah, the 5-on-5. 5 females against other 5 females. You're a captain, another famous fighter, MMA fighter, captain of the other team. That's a brilliant idea. And so you're doing this. You also have your serious show called MMA Tonight. That's every Tuesday night, correct, on SiriusXM?
This is every Wednesday. So it's Tuesday. It's actually Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but I host the Wednesday show with Ryan McKinnell. And then AJ and RJ host on Tuesday, and I think also on Thursday as well. But yeah, so you can catch it 3 days out of the week, but the best one is on Hump Day. Obviously, on Hump Day.
And not just because of you. Ryan's the man. I love listening to Ryan, so he's a great partner for you to have as well. So allow me to ask you now to put your analyst hat on. Can I get your prediction? October 6th, who do you got, Conor or Khabib?
I'm thinking Khabib's going to get it done. I think that he's going to grind Conor out. I wouldn't be surprised though if it does go the distance because I think that Conor is incredibly tough. And I think that, Khabib is such a grinding style fighter that a lot of times it doesn't necessarily lead to a finish. But that's also what makes it exciting because I think as the rounds go, I think Conor McGregor has a chance every time that they start standing, to be honest. He's really accurate and he's very powerful and he tends to surprise a lot of people. So I'm not underestimating him in this, but Khabib he's never lost a round. He's quite the athlete, and I would anticipate that he should win this fight. So that being said, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not counting Conor out. He's surprised me one too many times, so I can't take that away from him.
But you are leaning toward, gun to your head, you're leaning towards Khabib at this time.
I am.
Could I ask you also about someone you know about, Amanda Nunes going up against Cris Cyborg, maybe the biggest women's fight of all time? Who are you favoring at this time in that one?
Well, if I may break it down for you real quick.
I would love for you to.
Yes, I'm going to say that I obviously think that Cyborg's going to win. I think Cyborg is the woman to beat. And until I see something largely monumental that's going against Cyborg, she's pretty much always going to be the one that I pick against any other woman on this planet. That being said, that Amanda hits like a man. I can say that firsthand. She hits so hard, and it looks like it's effortless. She's very natural at it. She's got this like falcon-like wingspan that's very, very long. I wouldn't be surprised if they have at least the same reach. She's got a very long reach, and she uses it really well. So what I will say is that Cyborg may be surprised by how hard she gets hit by Amanda. I don't believe that Cyborg is going to want to walk through the punches like she does with almost every other female she's ever fought. Like, you're not going to want to do that against Amanda. She might be smaller than you, but she packs one hell of a punch, and she could hurt Cyborg. She has the power to knock Cyborg out. I do believe that. I don't think it's going to happen this fight, but I think that if Cyborg doesn't actually come in with a strategy, if she just wants to bully Amanda like she does with a lot of other girls she can get away with, she might get hurt. Like, she could walk into her right hand and seriously get hurt. So that's what makes this fight interesting, is I really believe that Amanda is the most powerful striker that Cyborg has fought.
Wow. This is fast. Okay, so December might be the best month in women's MMA history because they just announced Valentina Shevchenko versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk. Can you give us a preview of that one since you're so willing?
So excited for that fight. I am so excited. Joanna's coming up to 125, but I think that that's honestly going to suit her better anyways. I know that they fought each other in kickboxing before, and I believe that Joanna won in the striking department. What I like about this fight is the development that I've seen coming from Shevchenko's side in her wrestling. Actually, she's actually good. She's very explosive, and I think that separates her from a lot of the other women in the division. Like when she went against Juliana Pena, Juliana's a great friend of mine, but I was very surprised at the explosivity and how effective Shevchenko was when she did get that takedown against Juliana, and then how quick she snatched up that arm. I mean, she has no hesitation whatsoever. And I think that she's more explosive than Joanna. So I think if they get tied up, I actually give the edge to Shevchenko. I think that Shevchenko can get Joanna down. But obviously we've seen it before with the striking with these two in kickboxing. So I think Joanna has the edge there. Again, really, really exciting fight. Mixed martial arts is a totally different game. So anything can happen between those ladies. The fact that they have fought each other before in another style doesn't always translate to mixed martial arts. There's a whole other aspect we have to consider, and that's the wrestling and grappling. And I think Shevchenko has the edge there. And
in fact, they've actually fought 3 times in Muay Thai. Shevchenko's actually 3-0 against Joanna in Muay Thai.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I thought it was the other way. I thought that Joanna had won in the striking department. So, well then, this might be a very interesting fight then. Because then Shevchenko would probably have the edge in both departments. But it's mixed martial arts. Like, you don't really know. You never know what's going to happen. So, very exciting to see this fight. If I have to pick one, then I'm going with Shevchenko.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, Miesha, before I let you go. There was all kinds of drama between you and Jon Jones back in February. Now that he got the 15 months, what do you make of that?
You know what? I think that I hurt Jon Jones' feelings, and I certainly didn't mean to. But I call it like it is. I am not I'm sorry if I did hurt his feelings. I'm sorry if he feels that me feeling frustrated at the situation is wrong on my part, or that I shouldn't be disappointed in some way. I was, but I am happy that he's coming back to the sport because I'm a big fan of his, and I would like to see him compete. So I'm not the one who's going to sit there and say what should or shouldn't happen for Jon Jones. They're making these decisions, not me. I just really hope that he has learned something from all of this. I hope that the punishment is harsh enough. We'll find out, but I hope he comes back and abides by the rules and can fight as the athlete I think we all want to see him as. We all want to see Jon Jones just be Jon Jones and get out of the way of himself. He is really his biggest opponent at this point, and I hope he comes back and does it right this time.
You're doing a phenomenal job post-fighting, Miesha. Congratulations on all your success. Again, Miesha is going to be a part of Quintet 3 on October 5th, the night before UFC 229 in Las Vegas. Also hosts her own SiriusXM radio show Wednesday night, as she just said, MMA Tonight. Her partner, her boyfriend, Johnny Nunez, victorious on Friday. And most important of all, she is now a mom. How great is that? Congratulations on everything, Miesha. Thanks for coming on the show today. Really appreciate it. Great to talk to you again. Hope to see you out there in Vegas.
I appreciate it. We'll see you out there, Ariel. It was good chatting.
All right. Looking forward to that. There she is, Miesha Tate. Again, a part of Quintet 3 on October 5th. Sean Wheelock, former Bellator play-by-play man, will be on the microphone alongside Miesha Tate. Lenny Hart, our friend, the one who does the intro, will be the ring announcer. So as we said, 2 super fights were just announced as well. Frank Mir involved. They've got all the teams lined up now. It's Team Sakuraba versus Team Alpha Male versus Team Polaris versus Team 10th Planet, and then the 2 super fights. Wow. If you're not there, check it out, UFC Fight Pass.